Rain lashed against the windshield as Jack gripped the steering wheel, squinting through the downpour on the lonely highway. The clock on the dash blinked 2:17 a.m. His hands were sore from the double shift, and all he could think about was getting home to kiss his daughter goodnight. But then, in a sudden flash of lightning, he saw it, an overturned car lying crumpled in a ditch, smoke curling into the black sky. His heart thudded. Instinct took over. He pulled over, slamming the brakes, his boots sinking into the muddy shoulder as he ran toward the wreckage. The rain soaked him to the bone, but he didn't slow down. No other cars in sight. No sirens. No one else was coming. As he got closer, he could see the shattered glass, the twisted metal. The front of the car was smashed, and the driver's side door was jammed shut. He couldn't see the face behind the airbag, only a faint movement. Someone was alive. Jack didn't hesitate. He didn't think about the risk, or the cold, or how long it would take to explain this to his daughter in the morning. He only thought, someone needs help. With a grunt, he grabbed a rock and smashed the passenger window, reaching in to unlock the door from the inside. The car hissed, a sound too close to danger, but Jack wasn't leaving. Not until that stranger was safe. Not until he did the right thing. The smell of burning oil filled Jack's lungs as he yanked the door open. Inside, the woman was slumped over the steering wheel, unconscious, a thin line of blood trickling down her forehead. Jack's hands trembled, but his voice stayed steady. "Hey, can you hear me?" No response. The engine let out a choking noise, and the smoke thickened. He knew he had seconds. Reaching across the broken glass, he unbuckled her seatbelt and, with every ounce of strength, dragged her limp body out of the wreck. His arms ached, but he kept going, pulling her up the slope, away from the car. Just as he laid her down, a loud pop from the engine made him duck. Flames burst from the hood, lighting the rain in an eerie glow. They were just in time. Jack dropped to his knees beside her. Her breathing was shallow. He checked her pulse, weak, but there. He remembered the CPR video he'd watched during his warehouse training. With shaking hands, he tilted her head back and began compressions. Counted aloud, trying to stay calm. His phone buzzed in his pocket. A text from Lily, "Daddy, you coming home soon?" He smiled for a half second, just enough to whisper, "Soon, baby. I promise. Just helping someone who needs it." Sirens finally wailed in the distance. Jack looked down at the stranger whose life he may have just saved and hoped, really hoped, she'd make it. He hadn't done it for thanks. He'd done it because it was right. The hospital was quiet, the kind of quiet that hums with fluorescent lights and the soft shuffle of tired nurses. Jack sat alone in the waiting area, still damp from the rain, his clothes streaked with mud and blood. He hadn't planned to stay, he just wanted to make sure she was alive. He'd already told the nurse he wasn't family, wasn't expecting anything. But something in him said to wait. A doctor finally approached, clipboard in hand, expression unreadable. "She's stable. You saved her life." Jack nodded, relieved. "Can I go now?" he asked softly. The doctor hesitated. "Actually, she's asking to see you." He was led to a private room, heart pounding in his chest again, but in a different way this time. When he stepped inside, the woman was sitting up in bed, pale but alert. Her eyes met his, and they were filled with something between disbelief and awe. "You're the one who pulled me out?" she asked. Jack nodded awkwardly. "Wasn't about to drive by." There was a long pause. Then she spoke again, more quietly this time. "I'm Evelyn Carter." The name rang a faint bell. Jack blinked. "The CEO of Arctech?" She smiled faintly. "Yeah. That one." The silence thickened. Two people from opposite worlds, bound by one reckless, fearless moment. Evelyn reached for his hand, her voice shaking. "You didn't know who I was." You still saved me. Why? Jack looked her in the eye and simply said, because someone had to. Weeks passed. Jack had returned to his routine, warehouse shifts, school lunches, bedtime stories with his daughter, Lily. The night he pulled a stranger from a burning car felt like a distant dream, though the headlines still echoed, "Mysterious Hero Saves Tech CEO." He never claimed credit. He didn't want attention. He just wanted to be a good dad. Then, one afternoon, his phone buzzed with a call from an unknown number. He almost ignored it, but something told him to answer. "Jack. It's Evelyn Carter." His heart skipped. "Oh. Hi. I'd like to meet. Please." Her tone wasn't commanding, it was personal. They met in her sleek downtown office, all glass and quiet power. Jack looked out of place in his faded jeans, but Evelyn welcomed him with warmth, not pretense. She asked about his life, his daughter, his struggles. Jack told her the truth, how he worked 2 jobs, how he gave up college, how he'd do it all again just to keep Lily smiling. Evelyn listened. Really listened. And when he finished, she stood, walked to her desk, and handed him an envelope. Inside, a full-time offer at Arctech, good pay, benefits, and flexible hours. Another envelope, a scholarship fund for Lily. Jack was speechless. Sometimes life puts the right person in your path at the exact moment you need them, Evelyn said. You saved my life, Jack. Now let me help you live yours. For the first time in a long while, Jack let himself believe, things were about to change. A year later, the ballroom at the Arctech annual gala shimmered with soft lights and the quiet buzz of success. CEOs, engineers, and investors mingled in suits and gowns, but all eyes turned as Jack stepped onto the stage. No tie, just a clean shirt and a nervous smile. Beside him in the front row, Lily beamed proudly, her little legs swinging off the chair. Jack cleared his throat, gripping the microphone with both hands. I'm not a speaker, he began, chuckling softly. I'm just a dad who worked night shifts and heated up too many frozen dinners. Laughter rippled gently through the crowd. But one night changed everything, he continued. Not because I saved someone important. Because I remembered what my daughter once asked me, Daddy, why do we help people we don't know? And I told her, because that's what makes the world better. He paused, scanning the faces in the crowd, finally landing on Evelyn, who blinked back tears. I didn't know who she was that night. I just saw someone in danger. That's all that mattered. He looked down for a moment, then raised his eyes again. Evelyn gave me more than a job. She gave me a chance to be the dad I always wanted to be. To show my daughter that kindness still means something. That doing good, still matters. The room rose to its feet in applause. Evelyn stood too, wiping her cheek. And as Jack stepped down from the stage and took Lily's hand, he felt it, hope, not just for them, but for everyone listening.